doing? John from Nothing But Cardboard. Jim Mint John from Nothing But Cardboard. If you saw the last video, you'll know what that's about in our 131 bulk card submission and the pre-grade challenge that we did. Everybody did really well in the pre-grades. I was just a little bit better. Just worked out that way this time. So I'm going to do a video on how I pre-grade cards, my game plan, and my thought process. So a few things you'll need: good light, good bright light to see the cards. I have a magnifying glass that has a light on it. My eyes are old, so it helps me to see. I have a jeweler's loupe. All this stuff can be purchased on eBay. Microfiber towel, like a auto parts store, eyeglass cleaning rag. For me, I use these labels to pre-grade my cards so that later I'll know what they pre-graded for scale. I use those because I do a lot of pre-grading. When I get the cards in, I try to get them done, put up, and then I have them ready. PSA was closed down for a long time, so pre-grading my cards and getting them ready so that when they opened, I would be ready to submit, especially if they dropped down to a lower price. You know, we thought that they maybe were going to drop down to $20, $25 and might have had a few cards to submit to them, but with the value, you know, still $20 for the grading fee, nowhere near ready to submit any of my cards. And then this is a Jim Mint tool for centering, just to help centering. So that's the things you'll need to do pre-grading like I do it. So let's get into it and I'll show you. Also, you're going to need some clean sleeves, penny sleeves. You don't want to take old ones that you've had, try to blow them out, clean cards, stick them back in there, get hair on them or whatever. It's just not worth it. Put them in a brand new card sleeve and put them in either a top loader or a hard case to get them ready to be submitted. So I'll show you what I do. Alright, so the first thing I do with the card is I'll center it. First I'm going to clean it. So I'll show you how I clean the card. Got to be careful when you're cleaning the cards because you can do a lot more damage. I will grab the bottom of the card, and you always want to go away from the edges. So you don't ever want to go in the edges, you want to go away from them. That way there's no chance of catching the edge or less chance. So I'll wipe the card, not much pressure. Wipe it down, flip it over, do the same on the other side. So I'll clean it. Then I will center it first. There's 4 criteria for grading: centering, edges, corners, and then the surface, the actual like surface of the card. So that's the 4 things that we're going to be looking at to get the grade. Anytime you do the centering, you want to make sure it's in a, like I said, a top loader or a hard case, so that you don't have the card and you're not just, you know, going to be able to damage or bend the card. So you can tell by looking at this card that it's off-centered. More over here than over here, so it's off-centered from left to right. I don't know how they say that, if it's from right to left. This side is thicker than this side. Anyway, you would measure it. So you try to center it the best you can. Hold it in place. Just want to get it on the corners. And there's numbers, and you're going to count the numbers. So this side is a 5. This side is a 3, 3.5. I like to use the magnifying glass. Like I said, my eyes are old and I can actually see it really well. So after you center it, left to right, and you're doing up and down, then you want to do front and back. So first tip right here is you need to know the companies. Each company has different rules, different ways that they grade a card. PSA is known for not being as harsh on the back of the card as they are on the front of the card. So it's possible to submit certain cards to certain companies and get a better grade. So once you pre-grade and you get decent at it, write down your pre-grades, send them to the company, get them back. You're going to see how you do. You're going to learn each company and how they grade based on how you have pre-graded the cards. You're dealing with different graders there. Some guys have bad days, some guys have good days. We've all heard those stories, but you're going to learn pretty much how you pre-grade the card compared to how the company is grading your card. So you're going to learn, and you're going to be able to do a better job of pre-grading. So then when you check the score, so we said this side was 5, this side was 3. So that's 63-37. So that's not in line with the company to get a 10. Bold numbers are likely to grade a 9 or better. The front of the card is usually 60-40. Back of the card, I think PSA maybe like 70-30. It's pretty big difference between the front and the back. So centering is the first part. Usually I do centering last because it's back in the sleeve. Usually when I have the card out, I'll do the other thing so you're not handling the card. The reason we clean the card is because it could have fingerprints on it. It could have issues that cause you to think that there's something wrong with the card. It's not. If you see this Jordan card, you can see there's like a light in the background, almost like a half moon. This old Shaq card here, there's a dot here. It almost looks like something on his leg or pants, or maybe, you know, a problem with the card. Here's another tip. Check online. Look on eBay. Put in these cards, 1990, Jordan, number 65. If that's on the card, then you know it's an issue with, it's not an issue with the card, it's part of the card. Same thing with this one. If you look online and you see that dot is on there, then you know, okay, that's not a problem with the card. Something else to do is put in the card, PSA 10, and look at it to see how your card looks compared to that 10. So the next thing I do is check the card overall. I use this to look it over to see if there's any issues, front and back. I'll check the corners really good with the D-loop. This is not going to show up in here, but when you look through this, it brings out any little folded edges, any marks, especially cards that have color on them. It'll bring out the defects in there. The graders use these, so it's a good idea for you to use them, especially for the edges and the corners. You want to check those. Next thing I do is the good light. Like I said, you want to use the light to check the surface of the card. So here's a card that I pre-graded before, and when you hold it in the light, it'll show defects. I don't know if it's going to show up for you guys or not, but I can see it right there by his head, right above his head. When you're looking at him straight on, sometimes you don't see that. So I'll check each card and hold it in the light. You can see any dings, lines, anything that's on the card by holding it in the light and just turning it a certain way. So that helps you to see a different aspect of the card. Once I pre-grade the card, I will put it in a sleeve. I put a color code on it. This is how I was doing my PSA. Now it's going to be different because everything's half grades except for them, but I would put a color code on it if it was grade worthy. Then I would file it in my box according to sports and the grade that it pulled. And then when it's time to submit, or I'm looking to submit some cards, I can go through here and pull out the ones, and I know which ones I pre-graded. If it's not grade worthy, I'll put it in another pile to sell raw cards, or to put it in a lot or something that I'm doing, and mix them all together. So that's my process going through pre-grading. Check eBay for sure to see how they pre-grade. We've also been doing some cracking of cards. You can see how this card looks like it's really off. I mean, it really looks like it's off, left to right. Some of these cards are hard to get centering on because there's no border. It's just a card that has, you know, some logos and designs, and it's a little bit different. So you have to look on eBay again, like I said, see what a 10 got as a grade. So this card, you can see it says 9 centering. Well, we looked online and found the same card. It was Joe Burrow. It wasn't Tua that pulled a PSA 10, and it has the same border. It looks off, like this side is thicker than this side is. So when we're cracking cards, and again it goes back to how each company grades. This one says centering, and you can kind of tell. We've had 9.5s before, SGC. If the deficiency or the product, the defect, whatever the problem is on the back of the card, PSA does not grade harshly on the back. So if you submit that card to PSA and it was a 9.5, it could pull a 10, and it goes up in value and it's worth more money. 10 just is better than a 9.5, and PSA is better than all the other companies right now for pre-grading. So that's how I do pre-grading. I don't like it. It's tedious. It's a pain. But when I get cards in, I will try to pre-grade them and put them in my filing system and get them going. So I hope this helps you guys. Again, leave any comments down below. Anything that you're doing that maybe is different. Something that you like to do, something that works for you. And hope you like, subscribe to the channel. We're looking to get over 500 by the end of the year. We want to get to 1,000, so we're really trying to put some more time and effort into videos weekly, good content, not just throwing out any videos. So if you have any suggestions for us, please leave that down below also. We're always looking for ideas and things to do. We've got some more challenges coming up that we're trying to put together. Just makes it exciting for us. So hey, we appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot. Take care.